right, thank you so much for coming in, Mr. Smith. I'm so happy you're able to join us and discuss some of John's progress throughout the semester.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Absolutely. Right now, John is doing a great job being an active participant in the classroom. He's always staying focused, and it's a great influence to his classmates.
Okay.
He's doing great in that area.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Absolutely. I do want to just give you a brief overview on what we are doing throughout the semester. So I did give him 4 assessments. The first assessment was a phonics assessment, which is basically his spelling.
Right.
I'm done through a spelling test.
Right.
Next is just reading comprehension, which is gaining meaning from a text. Fluency, which is how you're reading it with expression and meaning. And lastly, vocabulary, which is just getting the word meaning, like the
word use and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. And so how did you do on those 4 assessments? What were some, I guess we'll start with good points. What were some strengths that he had?
Some strengths is he's able to, his reading comprehension is good in the fact that he's able to get those key points out there and be able to understand the key points of the text that he's using.
Right.
He's also able, in his spelling test, he was able to master those digraphs and blends that we've kind of been reviewing throughout the semester, which was a great start to his spelling test. Another thing that he's doing really well is while he was doing his read aloud, he didn't need any assistance or anything like that. He was actually able to self-correct throughout it, which is a great trait when reading aloud.
Okay. All right. So that's all good to hear. Don't get me wrong, but there's a reason that we're here today. So from what I'm getting, he's really good at the surface level stuff, but what are some areas that he could use improvement or invest a little more time in?
Absolutely. So in regards to his fluency, he is able to, read the passage with some clarity, like I was saying, the self-correcting.
Right, you had mentioned that.
One thing that he is doing, though, while he is reading, it's very monotone and kind of choppy, reading only certain word segments at a time. Some strategies that we're using in a classroom to kind of help read with emotion are repeated reading and then choral reading, both of which involve kind of reading in groups. The repeated reading is kind of what it sounds. We're reading the text over and over and over again, which I know doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but if you think about it in terms of a play, actors kind of have to reread the text.
Right.
And so what we're doing in the classroom is kind of taking poems or little skits and plays where the students have to read with different emotions or sometimes in a robot voice, and the kids really enjoy that. And you can definitely practice that at home as well. Kind of take a different text, reread it with different emotion, maybe some favorite characters in a movie that
I'm sure we can make a game or something out of it. I mean, all the kids are always doing Disney impersonations and stuff, so I'm sure we'll be able to figure something out.
Absolutely. Another thing that I did notice throughout the assessments was while he was able to get those, basic concepts, like I was saying, for that reading comprehension,
right.
We do need to work on kind of digging a little bit deeper into that and kind of picking up on those deeper meanings and themes that were involved in the text.
Okay.
Some things that we're doing in the classroom release is previewing and predicting. Basically what they're doing for the preview part is they're looking at the text before actually reading it, kind of looking at the pictures, illustrations, titles, and a little introduction that might be involved in the text. And from that information, they're kind of projecting what they think will happen in the text. And that kind of helps them prepare for deeper reading comprehension.
It's basically a steady amount of critical thinking, essentially, is what you're talking about, right?
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. We want to kind of develop their critical thinking skills a lot.
Well, that makes sense.
Absolutely. One final area of growth, as I'm sure you saw on his recent spelling test, he does seem to work on some of the phonics concepts that we're going over. He has the blends and digraphs down really well, but some of the other phonemic or phonics concepts, he does need to go ahead and work on.
Okay. And how do you recommend we improve on that?
Absolutely. At least on our end in the classroom, we're doing word sorts, which are taking a set of words and matching them and pairing them based on the patterns. And I know in the weekly newsletter, I'm going to go ahead and put the phonics concepts that we're working on.
Okay.
So, and it'll just be a little brief description of what they are. And then any text that you're reading in there, you might be able to be like, oh look, John, this is a blend. What are some other blends in the text? And kind of, hone in and focus on the phonics concepts that we're working on as well.
Okay. All right. We can do that.
Absolutely. Did you have any additional questions or concerns that I haven't addressed already? No, not right now. I'll check with my wife. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here tonight. But I'm sure she'll have a bundle of questions for you. So I think we have your email. You do.
So I'll either give you a call or shoot an email if we have any specific questions. Really, his strengths and weaknesses and just how he can fix it's really what we're focused on right now.
Absolutely. And then if you do have any other questions, I know you said your wife couldn't make it, but if she does have any other questions, the weekly newsletter is going to have my contact information. I'm pretty much always available, so you can just shoot me an email or give me a call to address any concerns or questions you have.
Okay, that sounds good.
Perfect. I want to thank you so much for stopping by, Mr. Smith.
Of course.
Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and give me a call or an email. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. We'll see you in class.
Bye now.